Hello kids, today you are with KIDSLAND. We welcome you to our KIDSLAND family.
Today we are going to learn our second lesson about the Great Flood. So now let's learn about the Great Flood.
The Great Flood. The Great Flood is the people of the earth grew to be many more and spread over the plains and hills. They also grew very wicked. They forgot God, and all the thoughts of their hearts were evil. Only Noah still worshipped God and tried to do right. The people had destroyed themselves, and so God said to Noah, "The end of all flesh is come. Make thee an ark of gopher wood." He told Noah to make it of 3 stories, with a window in the top and a door in the side. It was to be a great floating house, more than 400 feet long and full of rooms. And it was to be covered with tar within and without, so that the water should not creep in. "I bring a flood of waters upon the earth," said the Lord, "and everything that is in the earth shall die." This was to be the house of Noah, with his wife, and his 3 sons and their wives, during the great flood. Does the house seem large for 8 people? God had told Noah to make room for a little family of every kind of bird and beast that lived, and to gather food of all kinds for himself and for them. The great flood. So Noah did all that the Lord had told him to do. And 7 days before the great storm he heard the Lord calling, "Come thou and all thy house into the ark." And that very day, Noah with his wife and his sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives, went into their great black house, and through the window in the top came flying the little families of birds and insects, from the tiny bees and hummingbirds to the great eagles, and through the door on the side came the families of animals, 2 by 2, from the little mice to the tall giraffes and the elephants. And when all had come, the Lord shut them in. It rained 40 days and 40 nights, and the waters rose higher and higher, covering the hills and creeping up the mountains, so that every living thing died except Noah and all that were with him in the ark. But after 10 months the tops of the mountains were seen, and Noah sent out a raven and a dove. The raven flew to and fro, but the dove came back into the ark, because she found no place to rest her foot. After 7 days Noah sent her out again, and she returned with an olive leaf in her bill.
Dove returns with an olive leaf. After 7 days again he sent out his good little dove, and she did not come back. So Noah was sure that the earth was getting dry, and that God would soon tell him to go out of the ark. And so he did. Think how glad the sheep and cows were to find fresh grass, and the birds to fly to the green trees.
What a silent world it must have been, for there were none but Noah and his family in all the earth. Noah did not forget how God had saved them, and he made an altar of stone, and offered beasts and birds as a sacrifice. When he looked up to the sky there was a beautiful rainbow. It was God's promise that there should be no more floods upon the earth. He still sends the rainbow to show us that he is taking care of this world, and will always do so.
Perhaps the people who lived after this, for Noah's children's children increased very fast, did not believe God's promise, for they began to build a great tower, or temple, on the plain of Shinar. Or perhaps they had grown proud and wicked, and wanted a temple for the worship of idols. But the Lord changed their speech, so that they could not understand each other. And they were scattered over other countries. And so each country began to have a language of its own.
So kids, we learned our second lesson today. We should study God's Word every day.
And send us your comments. You can know God's Word through our website. If you are not yet connected to our website, connect to our website today and become a member of the KIDSLAND family.
We will meet again next week with a new lesson. This is the KIDSLAND family.